undesirable characteristics? What is meant by undesirable characteristics? Undesirable characteristics means definitely these type of characteristics you won't expect in the in every instrument. If it present, definitely the instrument will reach an error value. Maybe the instrument may be damages also. So what are the dynamic characteristics? So there are three dynamic characteristics. The first one is a hysteresis. Second one is a dead zone, dead time, threshold. Third one is a drift. Right? What is a hysteresis? By increasing and decreasing order of a input, you will get different outputs. So that we can call it as that characteristics. We can call it as a hysteresis characteristic. Right? After that, a dead zone, dead time, threshold. By seeing the figure, it will be very easy to understand. Dead zone means the maximum change in input, right? Maximum change in input. So maximum change in input, there is no output. We can call it as a dead zone. That zone we can call it as a dead zone. What is the threshold? The minimum point. Threshold means the minimum point at which my output start. So this point we can call it as a threshold. Dead zone and threshold depends on input value, right? So what is a time? Time required for a dead zone, we can call it as a dead time. That means output ekkada start avutundo for a given input. So that time we can call it as, up to that time we can call it as a dead time. Got it now? Next, what is a drift? A drift is nothing but deviation from output to input. We can call it as a drift. There are zero drift, span drift, and zonal drift. What is a zero drift? Throughout my measurement, drift is constant. We can call it as a zero drift. Throughout my measurement, the drift is increasing. Then it is called as a span drift. And some portion of there is a drift. After that, there is no drift. That is called a zonal drift. I think these are the characteristics of instrument, static characteristics. And we'll go for some examples. So with that you can easily understand. A thermometer is calibrated as 20 degrees to 80 degrees, and dead zone of the thermometer is 10% of spam. Then calculate the change in input temperature before the output is detected. See, given, so what he is asking, see, then calculate the change in input temperature before the output is detected. So ekkada temperature change avutundo output detected. So this is the output detected point na, right? So this point he is asking, calculate the change in the input temperature before the output detector. See, threshold is an input value, dead zone is an input value, right? So threshold he is asking. So given is thermometer is 10% of spam. 10% of spam. What is spam? Spam is nothing but maximum to minimum. So 80 minus 20 is equal to 6 degrees, right? Dead zone is 6 degrees. That means 6 degrees వరకు నువ్వు ఇన్పుట్ ఇంక్రీజ్ చేసినా కూడా దెర్ ఈస్ నో అవుట్పుట్, రైట్? అవునా కదా? సో 20 degrees నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అయింది, 80 degrees వరకు వెళ్ళింది. 20 degrees నుంచి 6 degrees వరకు ఇంక్రీజ్ చేస్తూ ఉంది, దెర్ ఈస్ నో అవుట్పుట్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ డెడ్ జోన్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ మెంట్ బై థ్రెషోల్డ్? ఈ పాయింట్ని థ్రెషోల్డ్ అంటారు. సో ఈ పాయింట్ ఎంత? 20 plus 6. So that is called 26. I hope you clearly understand. See once again, 20 degrees inch. What is a dead zone? Dead zone means there is no output. So 10% of spam. Dead zone is 10% of spam. 10% of spam will get 6 degrees. Right? Will get 6 degrees. That means 6 degrees is dead zone. That means 20 degrees start in the 80 degrees work my input. 6 degrees work increase చేసావు. There is no output. So this is called a dead time. This zone is called dead zone. Right? ఎక్కడ అవుట్పుట్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుందో that you should find out. So what is that? That is called threshold. So what is the threshold value? 20 plus 6. We can call it as 26 is my threshold value. Right? So this is about static characteristics of an instrument. So there are two types of static characteristics: desirable static characteristics, and second one is undesirable static characteristics. Desirable accuracy, precision, resolution, linearity, sensitivity, reproducibility, repeatability, range, spam, sensitivity, right? Undesirable characteristics: hysteresis, dead zone, dead time, threshold, drift, undrift, zonal drift, zero drift, span drift, and all these things, right? Now we'll go for a dynamic characteristics of an instrument. Dynamic characteristics means these characteristics will change with respect to time. Right? Depends on it. It doesn't. It depends on time. Time changes, my characteristics also changes. So dynamically, so due to something, these characteristics will change. Whatever it may be, either time, or whatever it may be, right? So what are the dynamic characteristics? See, this is not that much important. I'll explain. So these dynamic characteristics are also two types. So those are desirable and undesirable characteristics. So desirable characteristics are speed of response. Better note down everything, right? It's better, definitely. So while seeing the video itself, you have to prepare your notes like in the classroom itself. So it will be very good for you guys. Because these are difficult definitions. If you see A.K. Sahani, it's very difficult to understand. So I prepared a lot of things to prepare these type of a definition, easily understandable definitions. I prepared so many books. So for this, definitely you should follow my videos for easily understand these type of definitions, right? Right. And dynamic characteristics are two types: desirable and undesirable. So what are the desirable responses? Speed of response, fidelity. These are desirable conditions. I'll explain what is speed of response, what is fidelity, and all these things. And second one is measuring log and dynamic error. So these are undesirable characteristics. Right? Desirable means sufficient existence. Undesirable means you won't expect these type of characteristics in that instrument, right? What is the speed of response? So what is the speed of response means how fast the instrument will reach the unknown quantity. So that is called speed of response. Speed ఎక్కువగా ఉండాలి, ఫాస్ట్గా నాకు రెస్పాన్స్ రావాలి. సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ రెస్పాన్స్. హౌ ఫాస్ట్ ద ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ విల్ గివ్ ద రెస్పాన్స్ ఈ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ రెస్పాన్స్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ రెస్పాన్స్ మీన్స్ హౌ ఫాస్ట్, ఎంత తొందరగా నా ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ విల్ డిటెక్ట్, విల్ గివ్స్ ద రీడింగ్స్. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ రెస్పాన్స్. నెక్స్ట్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఫిడిలిటీ? Fidelity means, I'll explain. Fidelity means రెస్పాన్స్ స్పీడ్గా ఉంటుంది, బట్ దట్ షుడ్ బి కరెక్ట్. సో దట్ ఈస్, నా క్లాస్లో ఒక 100 మంది ఉన్నారు. నేను క్వశ్చన్ అడగానే డెఫినెట్గా 100 మంది ఫాస్ట్గా రెస్పాన్స్ ఇస్తారు. బట్ నాకు కావాల్సింది ఏంది? కరెక్ట్ ఆన్సర్ కావాలా. ఎంత ఫాస్ట్గా ఇచ్చామని కాదు, కరెక్ట్ ఆన్సర్ వచ్చిందా లేదా. సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ అ ఫిడిలిటీ. Fidelity means the response is what, but gives correct measurement. So that is called fidelity. Speed of response means response should be very fast. Fidelity means fast response, but the response should be very accurate, very correct. Next, measuring log. Measuring log means response delaying. Speed of response కాదు, రెస్పాన్స్ చాలా స్లోగా వస్తుంది. డిలేయింగ్ రెస్పాన్స్, నిదానంగా ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ రీడింగ్ దట్ అన్నోన్ క్వాంటిటీ. సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ అ మెజరింగ్ లాగ్. యూ వోంట్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ దీస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ characteristics in any instrument. So that is over na. Next, dynamic error. So enter under dynamic condition. So that is called dynamic error. We don't want exact formula based things for this. Directly, dynamic error means error under dynamic condition. Dynamic conditions, time varying conditions, right? That is called dynamic error. So we'll discuss in error analysis clearly about dynamic errors and all these things.